kicking and struggling as they all worked together to raise him to safety. Gideon leveled his eyes with Chloe. Okay, here goes. Like a rugby player taking deliberate measured steps backward, he lined up his run. Puffing hard, he ran with gritty determination, taking off from one foot, screaming, and landing on the edge of the platform. He tottered backward, arms windmilling in the air before Chloe and Ben grabbed him under each arm and pulled him forward. Giuseppe waited patiently, crouching and lacing her fingers together to provide a launching platform for the dwarf. Since her resurrection after dying in the desert, she and Tag had been close. They made a cute couple, Chloe thought. Weird, but cute. Makes me want to throw up, KieraFreya said, her words audible only in Chloe's head. Chloe grinned, amused by the spirit of the Goddess of Retribution that inhabited the elements of armor that she wore. The pieces of armor were the very reason they had come on this quest in the first place, so that Chloe could reunite all the lost fragments of KieraFreya's armor and bring her essence back together. Oh, and to gain a crapload of experience points along the way. Tag jumped on the 3 count. This latest launch far more successful than their first few attempts. On those, Tag had jumped on the down dip rather than the up, meaning his legs had flailed through the air and he had landed on the rock on his face. If it hadn't been for Chloe's healing hands spell, Tag's nose would still be a bloody mess right now. He hadn't even thanked her, just grunted and got back in the saddle to try the jump again. This time, Tag timed it perfectly, springing into the air and extending his arms into a swan dive. Chloe, Gideon, and Ben caught him, the extra weight of the dwarf toppling them all back into a pile of people. Hugs! Tag puckered his lips. Who wants hairy dwarf kisses? Gideon, Ben, and Chloe protested, pushing the dwarf's face away playfully and scrambling out from beneath them. By the time they were back on their feet and away from the giggling dwarf, Giuseppe had already made her jump and was watching them all with folded arms. There are times when being the last one to enter a group makes you feel like an outsider, she said, unable to hide the grin on her face. Times you feel you could be closer to the others in the group. That wasn't one of them. Don't be jealous, girl, Tag winked, approaching Giuseppe and hugging her around her ample waist. He looked hilarious, his hands unable to meet around her, his head coming up to the height of her breasts. Chloe wondered if that was one of the reasons he liked her, because he could use her boobs as a headrest. Finally, Chloe said at last, turning with her hands on her hips and staring up at the volcano that sloped dramatically before them. The rock was black and igneous, with only a small pathway leading the way to the dark entrance of the cave that loomed halfway up like an open mouth. Onward and upward. Can't we just stop for a minute? Giuseppe asked, patting Tag's head with one hand. Take a rest. We've come so far. She waved an arm back the way they had come, the desert now so far beyond the horizon that it was almost as though it had never existed. She was unaware that she'd just gotten the attention of some small glowing creatures that now clambered out of the lava and onto the far edge of the platform they had just come from. Chloe pointed their way. I'd suggest gaining higher ground unless you're in the market for another new pet to burp and care for. Tag stuck up a middle finger at Chloe, or at least tried to. No way, Ben laughed. Chloe and Gideon, seeing what he was seeing, clutched their stomachs. What? Tag said, unwrapping himself from Giuseppe's embrace and looking at his finger. Oh, really? Where Tag's middle finger should have been proudly standing up on his hand, there was nothing but a strange gaggle of large pixels blurring the action. I can't even swear non-verbally? What kind of stupid game is this? Tag grumbled, trying the other hand. 1 minute his finger was among the others, proudly erect, but as soon as he put down the other 4, a blurry mass took its place. Should we really be that surprised? Chloe managed between bursts of laughter. Praxis has tried to make this game family-friendly, as far as they can anyway. Maybe it's just for the viewers watching at home. Chloe turned to the sky and gave a wave to the air, as if she were on a game show and the cameras were watching her. Hi, viewers! Ben and Gideon looked around nervously to see what Chloe was waving at. They shrugged, dismissing the action, then returned their attention to the problem.